Hey vinyl friends and vinyl community, welcome back to part 2 of my soundtracks collection, where I'm showing my soundtracks that I have. And yeah, so let's just get right into it here. We're doing D through H today. So we'll start with Demon Knight. Now this is one of those soundtracks that I wanted for a long time. Didn't know if I'd ever be able to get it because I just didn't see it out there. The pressing, I believe, was done in 2016 on this one. And you can see right there as it tries to peek out, a cool green color. And you just didn't find it anywhere available. And there was a guy on Amazon selling third-party copies of this. I talked to someone I know who had purchased from that same seller. They've purchased from them several times, so I went ahead and took a chance, and it came, and it's beautiful, and I couldn't be happier about it. Demon Knight soundtrack. This has one of my favorite Megadeth songs, Diadems, on it, but it's a real heavy soundtrack. Pantera, Sanitary Gates, Filter, Hey Man, Nice Shot, Diadems, like I said, by Megadeth. It's got Machine Head on here, the Melvins, Rollins Band, Biohazard, Sepultura, Ministry, and Gravediggers. So, I mean, it's a pretty heavy album, but that Diadem song I've wanted forever, and some other great tunes on here. So Demon Knight, which is a Tales from the Crypt film. Another one I haven't seen the movie on it. Here's a classic that everyone should own, Dirty Dancing soundtrack. I had the time of my life. Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes. Who doesn't know that song? But it's got some great stuff on here. Be My Baby by the Ronettes. She's Like the Wind, which is actually sung by Patrick Swayze. That's right, he did a song. Hungry Eyes, Eric Carmen. I mean, can't go wrong with that. All around, just an absolutely great soundtrack. Highly recommended to anyone who loves great 80s tunes. This is it right here. This one I got for free from a couple ladies whose father passed away, and they were trying to get rid of all the stuff in his house. My parents bought a desk from them, a hutch desk, and when we went and picked it up, they had said that they had records in the basement, and I was free to look through them, and they gave me my pick of the records, and I was able to take them home for nothing. So this is Easy Rider soundtrack, a really good soundtrack. Another movie I've never seen, but I know the soundtrack has got Steppenwolf on here, The Birds. I mean, great stuff. So happy to have this one as well. I mentioned before, I love a good John Williams score, and this is no exception here. This is E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Absolutely fantastic. John Williams score here. I picked this one off of Amazon Warehouse, and it basically was because the cover is beat up a little bit up here. It doesn't bother me one bit, so super excited to have this. This is, I believe, just the score on here. It doesn't have the Michael Jackson song on here at all, but that's fine with me. I really dig this. All right, and here we have another classic from the 80s, Footloose, starring, of course, Kevin Bacon. And, it's just really good stuff on here. Obviously, Kenny Loggins' song Footloose is the top song on there. But you've got another Kenny Loggins song. You've got Sammy Hagar on here. You've got Bonnie Tyler, Holding Out for a Hero. Just a really good soundtrack. So if you're into 80s music, again, this is a soundtrack that I would consider an essential part of anyone's collection. This one I picked up. I saw it was $1, so I decided to take a chance on it. This is the Graduate soundtrack, and it says on here Paul Simon and Simon and Garfunkel. Really what it is, I think, is maybe 4 songs by them, and the rest is all score, which, is fine. Not my favorite score pieces on here, but, Sounds of Silence, Mrs. Robinson's on here. April Come She Will. So, I mean, in all, it's pretty good listen, so I enjoyed this. But for 99 cents, I might as well have this in my collection. So, all right, next up, we have Grease, another classic. And again, if there's any musicals that you should have seen, it's probably Grease. A really good soundtrack. This one I bought because I know the wife absolutely loves this movie, and so you know, you can't get around getting the wife something once in a while, and so I bought this. I enjoy it as well. It's a great soundtrack, some classic tunes on here, so absolutely exciting to have that one. Okay, so this one is one of my all-time favorites as well, and should be considered a must-have for any music collector. This is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. This is the deluxe edition, so not only does it have the great songs from the movie in it, but it also has the score in here, which is absolutely fantastic. Tyler Bates did the score on this one, and it's really good. So I love it. It's 2 discs. The first disc is obviously the songs from the movie, and the second disc is the score from the movie. Really cool. Following that up, I picked up the Volume 2 edition of Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, same thing, deluxe version, which has Tyler Bates' score on there, as well as the popular songs from the movie. A really good soundtrack. Not as good as the first one, but still pretty solid soundtrack as well. So Guardians of the Galaxy. One of my favorite soundtracks from this past year is this one right here. Halloween 2018. I think that John Carpenter knocked it out of the park with this soundtrack. It's really good. It's not just a Halloween soundtrack to me. I listen to this year-round. I think it's just absolutely fantastic. The movie, I really enjoyed the movie a lot. It's one of my favorite of the Halloween series, and just a really good, awesome album. And this one comes on pumpkin orange. They have all sorts of different colors and stuff for this album, but I got the pumpkin orange one from my local shop down the valley. Couldn't be happier. Awesome soundtrack. Up next is a Willie Nelson and Family, Honeysuckle Rose, a movie I've never heard of. The album is decent, pretty good. A lot of it's alive, so you know, take it for what it will. But it's Willie Nelson. It's good stuff. Gatefold. Picked this up for 99 cents, so I'm not going to complain one bit. So Honeysuckle Rose. And last but not least, for my D through H collection, the Hunger Games soundtrack. I picked this up cheap. This was an Amazon warehouse find as well. And I really picked it up because I wanted the Taylor Swift Civil War song on here. Both 2 of my favorite artists, and you know, it's really good. Safe and Sound is in it. But Miranda Lambert with the Pistol Annies is on here as well. And the Civil Wars have another song, as does Taylor Swift on here. Just a good soundtrack to a really good movie. So really enjoyed that as well. All right, so there you have it. That is D through H. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a comment below if you did. Any comments on these, your favorite soundtracks. Love to hear from you. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button below. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video, and I hope you'll keep coming back. We'll come back starting with the letter I next time, and we'll see where we get. But stay tuned for more soundtracks in my vinyl collection. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep spinning, vinyl friends.